Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Chronicles, my family, my people. I know you all are coming in. I am so excited to be here tonight. I know you all saw me earlier today. All right, I know y'all see this cutie pie over here. This is my girl. This is my sister. I am so excited because you all know, I know that you all heard me earlier today. And I was just really talking about us. There you go. Okay. All right. So listen, y'all know stuff happens. It's okay. It's really okay. And you know, one of the things that I found out is that, hey, Mick, one of the things that I found out is that when you really got something important to say, a lot of times stuff happens. Hi, Chanel. You know, stuff happens. But listen, let me first say this. Let me greet you and welcome you. Thank you so much for joining me, your host, Michelle Edwards Whitfield, on Chronicles tonight with my special guest, Arlene Peterson Bowie. She just going to chill right on back there in the back. And she just, you know. And this is just brought to you by Influence Media Entertainment Group, where marketing makes a difference. Please visit our website at www.imeg.com to view our services and also to see some of our work. You can always email us at yourinfluence1@gmail.com, and of course you can give us a call at 1-440-549-0620. I want to just also speak to our sponsor tonight, is Fashion Fellowship with Connie Pickard. Please know that there is an extravagant, extraordinary fashion show that will be taking place on November 18th. That is a Saturday, 2007. It is a dinner fashion show. Tickets are $45. You can get them at Fashions by Fowler on Shaker Square, or you can contact Connie Pickard. I will have more information in there. The guest designers will be Diane Linston, Kari Taylor, and W. Von Glover. It is taking place at Tizano Party Center in Euclid, Ohio. It is going to be fabulous, but these tickets are going really fast. So you want to get them because they've been on the market for a little bit now, for a couple weeks. So sales are picking up and you don't want to be left out. So $45, November 18th. Be sure to get your tickets for the Fashion Fellowship with Connie Pickard and her wonderful crocheted fashions. All right. Business done. All right. Listen, so glad to have my guest here. And you know, I know you all saw the commercial, and she is a stage 4 breast cancer survivor on the journey. Okay? And I'm so blessed to have this sister here with me because she embodies the spirit of living and life. She is such a warrior and such an individual. Hi, Tammy. Such an individual that speaks life into other people. And so she is here tonight because she is going to share about this journey. She is going to drop some wisdom on us about prevention, about how to live through this thing, how to get better, how to deter some things. So I want you first of all to like, share, and follow. Like, share, and follow. Hit that share button because there is somebody that you know, somebody that you love that is on the journey. There are things that we are going to learn regardless to where we are in this thing about how to be healthy. So the first thing I want you to do is, and I know that I mentioned that this woman is a singing woman. So let me just really quickly tell you, we have known each other since we were teenagers.
Yeah, forever, actually.
Yeah, since we were teenagers. We actually were singing in the same group as teenagers. And went our own way throughout life and then came back together. And you know what? We really know that one of the things that we want you to know is that everything has a purpose in life, even those things that are difficult, you know, those mountain experiences and also those valley experiences. But sometimes God is just weaving this blanket for us of life to cover us, because we met all those years ago and now we are in this thing together and we are so happy about it. Because what's the name of our book? For Such a Time as This.
For Such a Time as This.
We are working on a book, folks. Okay.
That's right. Hey, Ro. Hi. Is that Pauletta?
Pauletta and Rochelle. It's going to be a whole lot of people, so we're just going to be waving at y'all
tonight.
Share,
like, and follow. This is a very important show tonight.
very important show. Okay, all right. So where would you like to start, my love?
I'm just gonna, hey, Dewana, there's my sister. You know, share, like, and follow. Tell everybody. But I'm just going to start in 2014. I went for my regular yearly mammogram. I worked at the Cleveland Clinic, so and the breast center was right across. Actually, I would go over there and use their John because it was closer. And so I had my regular mammogram, and they, you know, found cancer. At that time, I was stage 3. And so it was a very frightening time for me, to say the least. I mean, I was a zombie. Literally, didn't know why, what, who, when, what happened. And I did, like Lenise, which she was one of those who reached out to me, and, you know, she's a beautiful sister. Thank you, Lenise. I'm still here. Bozeman. I'm still standing.
Lenise,
you know.
Bozeman, yeah.
Yes, but I was stage 3 at the time, and you know, I was so afraid. I was so freaked out that, you know, I just let them do whatever they wanted to do. They said, we're giving you chemo. We're going to, you know, remove the right breast. It was so much cancer in that breast that it was beyond a lumpectomy. It was, you know, they had to take the whole breast. And here's the thing. I had a mammogram every year. That's what I want. Do you all hear me? I had my mammogram on time every year. So in 2013, they didn't see any breast cancer. In 2014, I'm stage 4. Okay? That's how aggressive, that's how fast cancer can grow. And I'm going to come back to that. But so I elected to have a double mastectomy because most women who have breast cancer and one breast will have it in the other, will reoccur most of the time. But that's why we're here, to kind of, you know, there were so many things that I didn't know. So so we did the chemo, the radiation, you know, the whole spiel. I finished that up in 2015. All the while I kept performing. Chemo was rough. It was not easy. But I got through it, and I had a really good bounce back. Later on in 2015, okay, my hip was bothering me. My hip, you know, and I figured, well, it's the way I sleep. We always rationalize.
We always
I'm always
rationalize.
laying on this side.
Especially women, because we don't want to stop what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't want to stop what we're doing. But I remember, and ladies, I want you to remember, and gentlemen, I want you to remember this. If something is new, getting worse, you know, it's something you need to, you know, and doesn't go away, that's a warning. It's always a warning, you know. And I remember my oncologist, when I finished my chemo, I asked her, I said, what is it that I should look for? And she said, something new, something persistent, and that's something that's getting worse. So, you know, that was the case with the hip. So I went in and, you know, they found cancer again, and I was devastated. But this time, see, the first time I had the breast cancer, I was so devastated. I was like, you know, just save me. I'll close my eyes, and whatever you all do is fine with me. Just save me. I didn't want to know nothing. I couldn't tell you about the medication I was on. I just took it. I couldn't tell you nothing. You have to be involved. You absolutely have to take charge of your health. You know,
it's a matter of life and death.
It's a matter of life and death.
You
cannot, you know, I hear so many people, my doctor this, you better be, your body is your doctor. You know, it's telling you. And you have to get involved. You have to be a part of. But I didn't know the first time. I ate what I wanted to eat. I kept going, you know, when I felt better, you know, whatever I was doing, I just kept going. I felt like pushing through was the thing to do. And so, you know, I got the second diagnosis 2 days before Christmas of 2016. They had found cancer in my hip and a few spots in my spine. And it wasn't something that I advertised because, I don't know, I just didn't advertise it too much. I mean, if people asked me how I was doing, I was fine. You know, I mean, I feel good, you know. And so, you know, that's when I got a little angry. That's when I said, you know what? Open up your eyes. This is you. You have to get involved. Don't be afraid. Fear, you cannot be afraid. This is what I've learned. Cancer is a part of us. It's natural. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a natural part. You've got cancer. This person, all of us have free radical cells floating around our body, and our immune system says, okay, you die, you die, you die, you die. It's killing these cells.
The cells.
Right.
Our immune system attacks the
free
cells.
radical cells. You know, it's you die, you get out of here, you go, you go, you go. And what happens when a patient, when someone gets cancer is that immune system is out of whack. It is not assigning those free radical cells, and those cells keep growing.
And they mutate.
Okay. And, you know, and then, you know, there we have cancer. So it's a natural part of you. So I didn't know that initially, you know. I left everything to my doctors. I have a wonderful, wonderful team of doctors at the Cleveland Clinic. My doctor is old school. He's very thorough. He's always picking. I told him Friday, you know, what do you think? I'm some kind of pin cushion? But he's very thorough. But look, I'm here to tell you that you have to take control of you can't depend on your doctors. There are some things that I found very disturbing on this journey, and I want to share it with you all. And I hope you all hang out.
Yeah, share this. And I'm having a hot flash. That's all right.
That's okay, you know. But it's okay. It really is.
Right.
But there's some things that I want to share with you about, especially the breast cancer. So, ladies, if you are the kind of, if you're getting your mammograms and you're constantly going in for recalls. I'll call them a recall. This is just my own experience. I'm not a doctor, but you better hear what I'm saying.
And I'm going to ask people, you know, don't be judgmental, because what you're getting here is what most people won't tell you, because most people just go through the journey and they won't talk about things. She is laying it out here for you. This is food for thought. I hope you got your pens and your pencils and your paper so that apply this to your life. So understand, because I know how people think sometimes. So when she said that cancer is a part of us, we all have certain cells. Everything, we have good and bad things. So anything can be mutated and get overwritten. You know, when we talk about any type of infection, it's just that something that has, like tumors are just overgrowths and masses of certain cells. So that is what she is saying, especially with what we eat and drink and these things that we cannot get away from. There are things that are in our bodies. So that's what she means when she says that we're walking around with things in our body already.
That's right. And when our immune system is working correctly, when it's strong and it's working correctly, it does what it's supposed to do, you know, and therefore there's no cancer, or, you know, when it's working properly. Okay, and that's the key. So my experience, the first time, you know, I got the chemo, I got the radiation, I took the medicine, the Herceptin, everything they gave me. And thank God it kept me here this long. But what they didn't tell me is, and I didn't know. And because I was the type, there are people who get diagnosed and right away they go out and read everything they can, you know, about the illness and do what I should have done, what I just wasn't able to do, but do the research. But if you go into how many times have you gone into an oncologist's office and found where they have, I'm sorry, I got to put it out there, peppermints, lollipops? Why? Why? Because if cancer is fire, sugar is gasoline.
Wow.
Okay?
Sugar.
But if you go to the oncologist's office, they always got a, and you know what they told me? You know what they told me? Eat anything you want. Because they wanted me to keep the weight on. Their intentions was good, but that is the wrong information. You can't eat anything you want. Mm-hmm. You know,
you got to find your truth, people.
Yes.
Because they can only feed you so much at a time. And like she said, she couldn't absorb it all.
Right.
So, you know, and take people with you.
Yeah. Oh.
Take someone with you too that you trust and that you know is going to hold you accountable and help you remember things. Because when they are dumping that stuff on you, it's like at some point your brain just shuts down. You just like. So, you know, you've got to have a support system. She's going to get to the support system piece.
Yes. But yeah, they told me to eat whatever I wanted. And hear me when I say, I don't think anybody but maybe my husband knew, maybe my sister, what a dark place I was in, because I was really good at putting on a face. So when it was time to perform, when it was time to do what I had to do, but I was a zombie. I was lost. I didn't want to know nothing. I didn't want to hear it. I was that patient, you know. But on this journey, I had to become strong, because that big C came knocking back at my door a second time. And that is when I started to do the research. And people, you better do your reading. You know, there's a lot out here that we can do along with the treatment that they give us. Because doctors know what they're doing. I mean, they see this, they do this on a daily basis. But they're trained a certain way. And some of them can be a little, you know, just rigid with what they feel works and doesn't work, you know. And that's fine. That doesn't mean they're not a good doctor, but you've got to do your own homework. And when I did my own homework, I found out no sugar. If you're the type of person if you're the type that gets a mammogram and they're always calling you back here and there, question that. Because in 2013, this is what I haven't told you. I had a mammogram and I had a callback. Now, I was the type of patient, I had very dense breasts. There are some of you women out there who have dense breasts. You've been told that you have dense breast tissue. That's something, there's some women out there who have lumpy breasts. You know, they told that they have cysts in their breasts. You know, I had all that, by the way, okay? I found out on my own, not from a doctor, that, okay, so in 2013, I had my breast examination on time, but they found something. They did a biopsy on it. It came back clean. In 2014, 1 year later, almost to the date, stage 3 cancer. Do you hear me? Do you hear me, ladies? So if they're always, and when they would call me back, you know, and I would have that biopsy and it would come back clean, because, by the way, I had several through the years. By the time I turned 40, and I was diagnosed, at 53, 54 years old, I had probably been called back 3 or 4 good times through the years. And everything always came back negative. But I always had dense breast tissue. I always had lumpy breasts. When they call you back like that, make them give you an ultrasound. You know why? Because even with a digital mammogram, when they're looking at that with the dense breast, if there is some cancer there and something else that they might feel like just might be tissue, it's like looking for a snowball in a snowstorm.
Wow.
You need that ultrasound on that breast so they can see it, so they can really distinguish what they're looking at. They won't, I had back in 2013, had I known.
Somebody please type in for us, dense breast request ultrasound. Please just type that in so that when you're
Yes.
going back, if you can't remember everything,
Yes.
please somebody type that in. If you have dense breast tissue, request ultrasound.
If you have been called
if they
back,
call you back.
And, you know, just question it. Question everything. Be that pain in the ass.
It's your
Because,
life.
yeah, it's your life. And had I had an ultrasound, had a doctor or whoever would have said, you know what, just to be on the safe side, we want to, you know, have an ultrasound. Maybe I would have been stage 2 cancer, you know. And then now let's talk about this. So that's one thing that I want to share with you all. No sugar, dense, lumpy, cystic breasts. They keep calling you back. Make them give you an ultrasound. Don't let a biopsy be enough, because I did have a biopsy the year before. I did. And it came back clean, and I was, I'm happy.
And here's another thing, too, because another thing that frightens us is if they say your insurance doesn't pay for it, because insurance companies are not trying to do a lot of things, some depending on what you have, or if you don't have insurance at all, understand that there are programs out here. There is a mammo truck, and Lanice talked about it, that there are organizations out here that will pay for your mammograms. And let me tell you something, if you don't have the money, tell them to bill you. Because then at least you get an opportunity to live to pay the bill. Don't let money, don't let that make you afraid.
Absolutely.
To get what you need.
Absolutely.
And understand also that doctors, there's so many people on the planet and the globe, they generalize medicine.
Yes.
You know, so they have like a recipe. It's like a recipe. You know, it's a recipe, so they have this basic recipe.
Right.
So if you have A, B, C, D, they subscribe or prescribe D, C, F, G. So that's the reason you have to say, okay, that's it. You got to do your own research. Go ahead, doctor. Go ahead, doctor.
You good. Thank you, Charnel.
Thank you, Chanel.
Yeah, you put that in there. Make them, ladies, if they keep calling you back, make them give you ultrasound. I really wish I would have had one in 2013. My situation might be different, but I'm up for this. I'm up for this because I've learned so much in this journey, and there are gifts. There are gifts that come with this. There are things and levels that you reach that I would have never. You have to go higher when you're dealing with something like this. Mentally, you got to dig deeper. You got to go higher. Another thing I want to talk about, people, is our diet. I really got to, I know that, we all like, culturally. Look, I was born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. There is nothing like some macaroni and cheese and, some potato salad and dressing and all that stuff. And it's fine in moderation. But really, people, really, we have to eat better. And if you're a cancer patient, you cannot and should not eat anything you want. Don't listen to your doctor. Because what I was doing is feeding cancer while I was while I was getting chemo. When they look for cancer in your body, they use sugar to find it. Okay?
Wow.
My doctor told me, eat whatever you want. No, eat leafy greens, eat lots of it, drink lots of water, get lots of rest, eat lentils, cut your meat if you are eating meat.
And try to go organic with meat.
You don't try. Go organic. You know why? Because most breast cancers are hormone driven. So you want to make sure that your beef and your meats and your fish are organic and wild, and because if there's hormones in the chicken and all of that, you're putting that right back in your body.
It's attaching to that cancer. It's attached.
These are the things your doctor, they just look. They're going to get paid. They're going to get paid regardless, And
the information is out there, y'all, so Google it.
You don't even have to. Let me tell you, I have a friend, and I'm sure she's on here watching. Her name is Tamala Crutchfield. And she started a website. and it's called Peace. Somebody typed this in. It's capital P space capital E space capital A space capital C space capital E, and what it stands for is people in. Okay, Tammy, you out there? Yeah, just type what it stands
Put it in
for
us, Tammy, please.
But what she created this website. She suffers with fibromyalgia really bad, and so she's been on this journey with me in the pursuit of better health for ourselves, but to share this information. And what was I saying? See, now I done lost
So we were
my
talking
mind.
about peace, and we were talking about eating organic.
Eating organic. Yeah, that we have information on there on that website, and you can go there.
Thanks, Stan.
There it is.
Thanks,
Thank you, Stan. Yeah, go to Peace. We have it on Facebook. It's not a lot of stuff on there, but because she was up all night doing it, but you look, the least you got to do when you're dealing with an illness like this is, look, they give us a lot of pills. They give us a lot of medication. So you take this medication and you hear about it causes all these different side effects. And then you take a medication for that,
side effect,
and it causes there you go, Tammy. People encouraged to alert, cure, and empower. And that's what I'm getting back to. Did you hear what she said? People encouraged. And we're encouraging people to be alert about just don't accept everything. Take charge of your health. Take charge of what you eat. Folks, come on.
Know what works for you, because what works for one doesn't necessarily work for the other.
That's right. You go down a conveyor belt when you have an illness. You know, when I got this cancer, I didn't get to pick my doctors or anything. I went straight down a conveyor belt. They had a team of women. You know, one is going to do the mastectomy. One is going to give you the implants, which was totally failed. That was a whole nother horrible ordeal. And I'm not downing, but I'm just saying, look, you got to question everything. And I had a wonderful team, but I was ignorant. Don't you be ignorant. So that's why I'm sharing this information. So,
and understand, we're not talking against medicine and doctors.
At all.
Understand that, because we got a lot of medical people on here.
That's right.
We don't know who's watching this. Understand, and we're not saying don't go to the doctor.
I have a wonderful doctor.
We're not saying don't go to the hospital and get help, because like her, she was saying when this first came on her, she could not think. She did not know. But you know beforehand now is what we're saying, educating and empowering. So if something comes, whether it's cancer or anything else, this needs to be on every level of life. I don't care if you got the hiccups. If you go to the doctor and they get ready to give you something, what are the side effects of this? Why do I have to take this? I want to try something natural. Have your list. Talk to your doctors.
Talk to your doctors, you know, work with them. But there's a lot of things we can do preventative. You know, I be watching y'all on Facebook shooting your plates. You know, you got a plate of this and a plate, and it's going to kill you. You got to slow the stand. Even though I be wanting to come over there.
We all guilty. We all guilty.
Girl, because he be going
here. He going
you know,
here. Holidays are coming, y'all. We trying to help.
Yes,
Holidays are coming. So, you know, we trying to help each other. There's no perfection in this.
No.
But what we're saying is get in the mindset of it. Get in the
mindset of it. Because, you know, look. There are, like, so what I did was, okay, so I'm all over the place.
That's all right. That's all right.
But what I went and did this time is I got a team. I put my own team together. So I have my oncologist who I love, and that team, they are the bomb. He looks for everything. So I got him over here. I went and got an integrative medicine doctor, and he has a strong background in oncology. So he's working with my oncologist. So, okay, she has this is going on. So why don't you take these supplements? Because people, we need supplements, okay?
Share, people. Hit the share button. Hit the share button.
Yes. So I added that piece, you know. So that's my natural piece. Then I also take high doses of vitamin C. And the reason I take high doses, and I take it intravenously, the reason I do that is because vitamin C, when it comes in, when it hits the bloodstream and hits our cells, it's my understanding that it turns into hydrogen peroxide or oxygen, okay? And it's fine for healthy cells, but cancer hates it. It hates it, and it does damage to the cancer cells. So I take high doses of that, and I'm going to give you all this information. You can actually go to Peace and find out. I go to get my intravenous IVs. I go to a place that's called Glow IV. They're wonderful over there. You can go over there and, you know, they'll talk to you. And it's not that they specialize in cancer patients, but what they specialize is getting you healthy, you know, we don't get enough nutrition. There are people walking around way overweight, and guess what? Malnutrition. Nutrition. You know, just because you're heavy and you know, doesn't mean that you're not malnutrition. That is what's wrong with us. Our immune system is in overdrive or in underdrive. You know, and 80% of our immune system is in our gut. It's in our gut, people. People think that I don't know what they think the immune system is. But it's in your gut, 80% of it. So, you know, we have to be careful what we're taking in.
Fast food, stop. Rallies, Burger King, all that. Taco Bell, stop. That stuff is grade 15 beef and stuff. Stop eating that stuff. I'm telling you. If you can get a £1.50 sandwich for 99 cents, come on now. That stuff just makes sense.
Again. I see my good girlfriend, I don't know if she's on here, Nia Kennedy. She's on the Alkaline Diet. And she shares with me. And that's what our body needs to be. We need to, and I know for me, especially if you're fighting an illness, you know, we need to make our body an unhealthy environment for illnesses. I am reading, Radical Remission. That's a that's a book that I'm reading.
Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. And Surviving Cancer Against All Odds.
Because people are surviving, y'all.
Yes, they are.
But you got to do the work.
You know,
but
and I'm not. And let me tell you something. I have not been consistent. I sat down and had a come to Jesus moment with one of my functional medicine doctors today. You know, and you know, I'm fiending for sugar as we speak, but I love life more, and I have to starve this cancer. I have to starve it of the things that it likes and that it needs, you know, and hope that this will at least slow the progression of it down. So, you know, that's one way that we can do that. Our diet is most important. You know, my integrative medicine doctor says that they believe that the gut is more important than the brain. You know,
for keeping us alive, for keeping us
really. I mean, when you say equally, is he says there are some that would argue that the gut is equally, at least equally, if not more important than the brain. So what we eat is everything, and I know culturally. You know, honey, my father, look, we from the South, you're going to eat your food and you're going to get your tail tore up if you don't eat it.
Right.
And the things we were eating, you know, were fine, but, you know, now we got all these preservatives.
That's the other thing, too. That's the other thing, too.
Yeah.
Our food is tainted.
Yeah.
Our food is tainted.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. Another thing, again, if you go to Peace, we posted that. There's more information. Check out the Glow Clinic. There's medical marijuana. I have investigated that situation in terms of, you know, I hear that they're doing wonderful things with that. There is CBD oils. There are essential oils. there is energy healing, energy medicine, and we have information about. You have to find what's right for you. But peace, we are investigating everything to empower ourselves, you know, to be healthier. And doctors are quick to just give you a pill. You know, they're quick, and those pills might be necessary and needed. But I watched something.
Even if it's for a season.
Even if it's
sometimes
just for a
it's
season.
just to get things under control, and then you can.
Absolutely. I watched something quickly on TV on my stick. If you have Amazon Stick, there is a program on there called, oh God help me, Super Juice Me. Super Juice Me. And these people had 22 ailments between the two of them. So for 28 days, I'm doing the short of it. This gentleman had them come to his place, and his mom had died of cancer. And he had horrible ailments, but he changed his life around, his diet, and the way he lived and all. And so he got better. So he said, I really want to test this to see if it works with other people. And so he had 8 people come, and they had 22 ailments, from asthma to colitis to all kinds of terrible illnesses. 28 days he brought them to his house, and they did nothing but juice. Juice, rest, and exercise. That's all they did. After 28 days, between the 8 of them, they were off 90% of their medicine. 90%. Wow. One guy,
thank you, Tammy,
came, yes.
Super Juice Me on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so if you don't have Amazon, you can get it on YouTube. The one guy came in there with a suitcase full of clothes and a suitcase full of medicine. Wow. He was taking 52 pills. In 28 days, he left that place taking 2 or 3 pills. He wasn't able to walk 50 feet. He was walking over a mile when he 28 days of nothing but juice, and it was hard. Yeah. It was hard. Yeah. The girl who had asthma no longer had to use the inhaler.
Thank you, Tammy. Earth Angels Holistic Health.
I'm getting to Earth Angels, Tammy, to keep me on task. I'm coming to Earth Angels. But purging of that system. The purging of our system, the detoxing of it, and the nutrition. Yeah.
Because they say it takes 21 days to break a habit. Right. So it's like if we could just be, and that's something that he brought these people to his home, because sometimes we need isolation. Yes. Because especially if you got a family, you got kids, and they're eating all, but you know, you have to do what you need to do for your life. So if you need to go someplace and go to a ranch in Colorado or something to get detoxed, do what you need to do for your life. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because I want to get to the holistic piece of it, because we want to talk about that mind, body, and soul. Can y'all just put the hearts in there? Has she not dropped some nuggets on us tonight about, can y'all just, you know, give her an applause with these hearts? Put those hearts in there. Put those hearts in there to show that you really appreciate what she's doing. Also, you can ask questions. You can put your questions in there as well, too, and she will answer your questions. So we want to talk about the correlation between body, and then we got to do mind and spirit as well, too. So go whichever way you want to go.
So again, you know, first of all, I have to say that my husband, thank God for him, you know, really pulled me out of the dark. You know, during my first he kept me going. And I know it wasn't easy for him. A lot of time they, you know, forget about the spouses or the significant other, but I can truly say that he pulled me through. But come on, God, you know. But let me just go back to that. And this is real deep. My mother raised us to go to church, to love God, to have a personal relationship. I'm a Christian. I believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. I believe all that. But I would see people sometimes, and this is before I was ill, and I never spoke this out loud, but I would see people and they would be so deep with God, and so they had an intimacy with him that I didn't have. I loved the Lord. I knew him. I have been happy in church. I cried, but they had a level of intimacy with him that I would just, well, baby, I'm there. This journey I had to learn how to hear God's voice. You have to hear his voice. We have to, I had, because in this, sometimes I was like, is this wishful thinking or is this God talking? Because I'm trying to live, you know what I'm saying? But I really had to learn to tune in to God. And that was one thing. And of course, prayer, but just walking in love and light, which I've always done, but all my things that were important to me and big to me before cancer became small. And all the things that I didn't pay much attention to that seemed small became big, and that was a good thing. So I'm going to say, like Kim, I think her name is Kim Carr. Somebody help me, Tammy, Crazy Sexy Cancer. What's the chick's name? I'm going to take this from her. Cancer has been my guru. It's leading me someplace, and I don't feel like I'm in a fight with it. I know that sounds crazy. I feel like it's leading me somewhere. It's taking me to a higher place. And as drastic and as dark and as painful, and with all the losses I've taken as a woman and my womanhood, or, your breasts, come on, there's something very exciting about this. Wow. It's something I feel like I'm being led. And even though sometimes I'm scared, mostly I'm excited, and I can't explain that to you all. I used to be really afraid of dying. But now I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid of just not living my best life while I'm here. That's what it did for me. Yeah. Living a full life, and that's why I make every gig I can, and I love, and sometimes I hear my friends complaining about things, and I remember complaining about those things. And it's so small, people, in the scheme of things. The only thing that's important is how much we loved each other. Not what we wore, not the car we drove. My gratitude is at a level that I've never known before. And I sure didn't mean to get on here and cry. So, that's the gift. It makes you dig deeper and go higher, And, that thing, that intimacy that I used to wonder about, I don't wonder about it anymore because I have that. And, that gratitude. Don't worry about a man and we, life has its problems But what somebody said or how they looked at you, who cares? Who cares? I remember my friend Deetra invited us to a concert. In some kind of way, I got on stage, you know. And I had not been out. Andre was there. I think Randy was there. It was a bunch of us. And I got on that stage, honey, and I was dancing around like it was no tomorrow. And I know it was probably some people in the audience says, look at her, she thinks she's cute, or why don't she sit her ass down, or, but they don't know my story. They don't know that I have been so weak that I couldn't lift my head off the pillow. So to be up there dancing was big for me, and I danced till I couldn't dance anymore. So, you know, it's important that we live our lives and have a support system. I have a great one. I do energy healing. That's Reiki. I want to give a shout out to the girls over at Earth Angels Holistic Wellness Center. They're on Scranton Road. They do wonderful work over there. They work with you mind, body, and soul.
The information is in the
information is there on
yeah.
Peace. Tammy Crutchfield, you can inbox her. Mm-hmm. You can She's inbox me. Mm-hmm. We can give you, you know, emails, phone number, addresses, more information. But that's for the spirit part of me. They do a little life coaching over there. I'm able to purge over there. They do Reiki. I'm not sure exactly what Reiki is. All I know is it works for me. You know, all I know is they, you know, be putting their hands over me and stuff like that, and they be shaking and whatnot. And I know that I always feel better afterwards. So, but they also do readings over there, intuitive readings. And when you walk in the place, the energy is just beautiful. The women over there are beautiful, and my friend Erin Rossi turned me on to them. And, you know, and God has just lined up everything that I need, and, you know, He's lined up all the people that I need at the time. He's just in charge, and I have learned to just let Him be in charge, but to tune in, because you know, I have faith in all, but faith without works, you know, without eating right, you know, and you know, exercising and drinking water and resting and stress. You know, another very important thing. So however you got to manage your stress, you know, my doctors, you know, want me to do it on a trampoline, you know. Some love you too, Rochelle.
I want you also to talk about, I know you have some information about men.
About yes.
Yeah.
We quickly, 1,700. There's some numbers I want to drop on y'all as we wrap this up. Men, this is not just for us. An average of 1,700 men are diagnosed with breast cancer every year. So men, if you feel lumps or something like that, you know, I know for men, it's just extra hard. You know, I actually knew somebody who knew of somebody who had a man who had, and it's extra hard because this is not common. But
men get embarrassed.
They get embarrassed.
Men are embarrassed. I know someone who had that as well too, and I think his wife really struggled. Yes. You know, where he was trying to get free with talking about it, I could see a stress level in her. So, you know, it's uncomfortable, but we have to talk about that. So, wives, if you're touching your husband's chest or you're touching your boyfriend's chest, and you're like, "What is
Feel
that?"
a hard spot or
you know, say something, encourage them to go. And we have to also talk about our family history. Sometimes it doesn't show up in the family, and sometimes it's been there, and they just never talked about it.
Right. You know, we don't know of anybody in our family who had breast cancer, but what I found out is that 70% of people who get breast cancer, 70%, have no identifiable risk factors. You know, no identifiable risk factors. So, you know, it doesn't, it just because it runs in your family, or just because it doesn't run, that has nothing to do with it. And 25% of those people, you know, who are diagnosed, 25% of those people are under the age of 50. I had a girlfriend, she was 37, 36 years old, found a spot. They sent her on her way for a couple months. She was like, no, this ain't right. Stage 3 breast cancer. Still, she wasn't even 40.
And listen, it can be younger than that.
Yes.
I met a young lady that was doing a play at Karamu 2 years ago, 16 years old, found a lump in her breast while she was in the shower. She's actually from Cleveland. And Steve Harvey, actually, you probably can Google it. You can YouTube it. Young lady young breast cancer survivor. I think she's in college now because he gave her a car and all this kind of stuff, because she's doing a work for teenagers, teaching teenagers how to examine your breasts. Because listen, do you see the 16-year-olds now? If their bodies are growing like that, do you understand? You know, we talk about our baby. She built like this, and she got all this and got all that. It's what they're eating. It's what they're ingesting.
It's
so if the food
GMOs and all
right, if the food they're eating is injected with hormones to make it grow faster to get to the grocer, they eat it. Then what do you expect? Yes, we got 12-year-olds that are double Ds. Yes, they have all these hips and things. You know, their bodies are out of whack. You know, so now that is the youngest case that I have heard. 16 years old. Yeah. She found out to have breast cancer. And I think she had a breast removed at 16 years old. So 16, 17 years old. So this is real. So share this with your daughters. Yes. Share this with your sons, your husbands. Yes. Because I said today, if you have a son, there's a woman that they love somewhere. And it could begin with you, mom, you know, girlfriends, boyfriends, I mean, best friends, whatever. Everybody needs this information.
That's right.
So we want to also talk about, I know you talked about the support system a little bit, you know, how important it is to have, and you can't, she said she didn't share it with everybody. Her husband and her sister knew, because everybody's going to have an opinion. Sometimes people don't know how to just hold your hand.
Right.
Sometimes people don't know how to just let you talk. They got, well, girl, you know, this happened to so and so, and you don't need that. If you got somebody that's like that, you be careful. Guard yourself in that. You know, make your circle tight in who you share with. Know that you need to have people that are going to pray with you and pray for you, and are going to bring you only light and love.
Yes.
And if somebody comes to you and you don't know what to say, just tell them I love you.
Yeah.
If you don't know what else to say, just say, I love you. Bring them some food, healthy food, living foods, whole foods.
Yeah. Yes, because, you know, look, I can't sit here and say I'm never going to eat a hamburger again from McDonald's. But, baby, it's going to be every blue moon. And you know, every 2 or 3 years, with the Game of Thrones, when winter comes. You know, but yes, a support system is really great. Sometimes people say some really bad things when you have cancer. You have to forgive them. When I was diagnosed, you know, there was a doctor who pulled me to the side, and he said, look, I've had cancer, and the first thing I want to tell you is you're going to have to be strong, and you're going to have to forgive people.
Wow.
Because people just really say hurtful and stupid things to you. And I've had it said to me, they ask too many questions, and people don't like or need that. I'm just speaking for the cancer patient. You know, I'm pretty candid about it. I'm an entertainer. My life has always been pretty much an open book. But, you know, and I wanted people to go on this journey with me, but, you know, kind of, you know, if you don't know what to say, just don't say nothing. Just a hug, a kiss, or I love you is fine. And sometimes we're in a funk. You know, we're on a lot of medications. You know, it's a lot on our minds. And that's with any illness. You know, and, you know, let the people have that,
those moments, whatever the moment is.
I allow myself, when I do have sad days. I mean, that, you know, every day is not, a bowl of roses. But I only allow myself a few hours, because I don't have time to be grieving, unless it's really necessary,
Right.
Meditation, deep breathing, anything to relieve you of stress, listening to music, spending some quiet time with God is always good. Me, I love praise and worship music. Whatever, just keep that even keel.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, and having that support system, somebody that, and friends who understand, to help you with the nutrition, to help you, I don't look the way I used to. People tell me, you're beautiful, but I don't look the way I used to, period. The landscape of my body has changed, and that has been hard to bear. So you kind of got to be sensitive and let those people have those moments, and nurture and love them through those moments, because they're human, and you wouldn't be human if you didn't have those moments, Also, one thing I want to say, go to the National Cancer Society, their website, honey, and if you're a cancer patient, they help you. I was able to get, over an 18-month period, I was able to get 2 cards, $100 certificates for shopping. So if you're a new cancer patient shopping at Giant Eagle, or they allowed you to have one for gas, which helps getting you back and forth to doctor's appointments. They have foundations that will pay your bills, like utilities and stuff like that. You can talk to your oncologist, social worker, and they can give you that information, or you can go on the cancer website, the National Cancer Society website, and fill out those applications and send them in, and get some freebies, some things that really help. And so those are just some things that I wanted to come on here and share with you all.
Y'all see why I love this woman? Y'all see why I love this woman? Can y'all like and heart it up for me? Like and heart it up for me, please. I want you all to, I hope that that you walk away, that you have walked away, and that you are still sharing. This is going to be in replay. Send it to somebody. Send it through Messenger. Put it on their page. Send them to my page. Inbox her. Inbox Tammy. There is a wealth of information on here. Y'all heart and like it up for her transparency and her honesty on this thing. I mean, you know, some people will walk this journey and they will just get in a closet and they will take the knowledge with them. They won't say anything. They won't help anybody. And I think, you know, my guest earlier this week, Lanice Bozeman, said cancer gave her life. When I look at this woman and I'm listening to her, this mission that she is on. So I've seen her in dark days, and I've seen her in days when she is like, I am on fire, and I'm just like holding the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, I hear you, Arlene. I hear you. You know, so it's like, what is your takeaway in this? That no matter what you're going through, you can be a blessing to somebody else. And when you are walking in your purpose, sometimes our purpose is birthed out of pain and tribulation.
Absolutely.
We get here, we come forth into the world via pain and tribulation. You know, when our mothers were in labor, it wasn't easy getting us here. So anything worth bringing forth comes through different vehicles, and some of it is really dark and some of it is really difficult. But when it puts you on your face and it puts you in touch, when she talked about, I can hear God so clear now.
So clearly now.
So clear, and it's so rich to be able to hear God's voice. That is such an amazing thing. So I mean, and to hear God's voice is not just when you're in the church and in your temple and you're hearing it through a preacher. When you are hearing that voice from the inside out, and you know it's Him, you can feel it. So all I can say is, Arlene, thank you so much, darling. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much.
And thank you all for tuning in. Share this. I mean, go to Peace, inbox me, inbox Tammy Crutchfield. She's on Facebook, and you know, we have again a lot of information. what you can do with your doctor, as well as add alternative things with that. You want to arm yourself with everything when you're dealing with any illness. You want to definitely arm yourself, you know, with the knowledge and the things that you need. So, and we're not just, again, Tammy has fibromyalgia, we're helping people with asthma. It all boils down to nutrition and stress and exercise.
Yeah.
You know, those things. So
thank you all. Thank you all so much for coming on. Again, I'm Michelle Edwards Whitfield, your host of Chronicles. Again, want to thank our sponsor for tonight, Connie Pickard and the Fashion Fellowship. Again, November 18th, 2017. Listen, tomorrow night, we want to ask you and invite you to join us at the concert with Maurette Brown Clark at Tri-C Eastern on Richmond Road. Tickets are $25. I've been putting the link out there. I'll add the link to this too. It is going to be such a wonderful time. The group shows is going to be there, and that's supporting sisters. But they do edutainment, okay? So what they do is through plays and things that they educate you on cancer as well. And when they did their first show, they've been to New York. They've been honored there. And Ruby D was in their first showing of this. So they're going to be on the bill and on the ticket tomorrow night. But we're going to be in the house. It is going to be a fabulous night. Maurette Brown Clark wrote that song, It Ain't Over Until God Says It's Over.
Right.
But she's got so many other songs as well. It is going to be fabulous. So please join us. We will be there. When y'all see us, please love on us. Give us some hugs. It's 6 o'clock tomorrow night, and we're going to have a wonderful time. So I promised you, I said between tonight and tomorrow, your life could be changed. You will be empowered. You would be encouraged. Your life will be enriched. We thank you all for joining tonight. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, for Stan. Thank you. So many of you all that joined on tonight. We thank you so much. Yeah, Velma Hicks. We saw you all. We couldn't say everything, but we thank you for coming on. Please like, share, and follow Chronicles. Please like, share, and follow Michelle Edwards Whitfield. Thank you again so much. Hey, Deb. We love you all so much. Thank you. Peace and love. Happiness. Mwah.
God bless you.
God bless you all.